Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A. We go over all the latest news that happened during the week and answer your questions live. If you want to get your question answered next week, just make sure to email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure your subject is question. This week we don't have a lot of regular news actually, so we'll be going over a lot of live questions. So if you have live questions, make sure to ask them in the comment section down below right now, and we will get to them before the end of the broadcast. However, we only have 3 articles to go over today. Now, two of them are really good, and one of them is kind of speculative. But after that, we're going to go over 6 emailed questions and then all live questions. So let's get right down to it. All right, the first big one is definitely the Galaxy S6 release date is tipped for February 2016. Now, if you recall, last week we went over the announcement date, which was January. I forgot when it was. It was. Let me go over it. I believe it was January 26th. And that was a Tuesday, and so that was the announcement day for the S7. So a February release date would match that up. So it does look like more so that yes, this will be what's going on with the S7. Not to mention that it will have the fastest bands to date, coming in at a Cat 12 band rating, so really fast bands when it comes down to the S7. In other news, the HTC might not be over with its new phones. Yes, it just launched the A9, but now it could be launching the X9. So the X9 is a basically higher end device as opposed to the A9, which was really a good bang for your buck kind of device, but I wouldn't say it screams high end, except for maybe the materials. Now, with this, we are getting boom sound back, so the new A9 does not have boom sound, but we also have 4 gigs of RAM and a Quad HD display. So this looks a lot more like a high-end device. 23 megapixel camera along with 64 gig storage, 3500 milliamps. This is really more of a high-end device as it seems. Now, we haven't had a HTC One X since a while back. I believe that was the model, I want to say 2 years ago, before they started the M series at AT&T. So this would be kind of like, again, bringing back an old name. But yeah, it's really kind of interesting to see, will this come out? I think it needs to for HTC's sake, because without this, I just don't really see them honestly living up to past a couple more years with their current trend of the A9. So hopefully the X9 will offer something more, but the A9 to me doesn't scream even M9 replacement. I do think it's better overall, but it's just not going to cut it. And then finally, the last bit of news for the day, Asus Zenfone 2 Deluxe Special Edition carries 128 gigs of storage, 4 gigs of RAM, and works in the US. Yes, this is apparently coming to the US, and it will be supported by AT&T and T-Mobile's networks. And basically, it's just a higher-end version of the Zenfone 2. With the deluxe version, you're going to just have the quad-core processor, good graphics card, 4 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of native storage. The front megapixel camera is actually, both cameras are coming with the f2.0. For those who don't know, that's a pretty good wide aperture that actually is basically similar to that of other phones. It's right above Samsung's S6 in terms of lower, meaning better, and in terms of both cameras. And it's really good and almost there to even the G4 with its 1.8. So yeah, this is a little bit higher, but still very good, and it has a wider aperture than say like other phones like the iPhone 6. So technically this should be better in low light, but we would of course have to see it. All right, now that was the news for the week. Now let's get to some of the questions you guys emailed about. Again, if you have a question you would like to get answered, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and you will get it answered hopefully next week. Now, in terms of this episode, let's get to the first question. All right, so the Galaxy Tab S2. I want to buy the Galaxy Tab S2, but I don't know if I should buy it on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Really want this tablet before Christmas because it's a great tablet. Plus, the download of Microsoft makes it even better. So, yes, for those of you unaware, the Galaxy Tab S2 is probably one of the better tablets out there. Again, simply for the value for the money. Having full Microsoft on there really helps. Now, here's the thing. Sorry, getting all this stuff. Okay, sorry about that. So I absolutely would wait for the Galaxy Tab S2 uh, for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, simply because I guarantee you it will go down probably $50 to $100 on those days. I've already seen it discounted a couple of times. The Tab S2 9.7 inch, which is normally $499, I've already seen it discounted $399 before. So I guarantee you it would drop down probably $50 at minimum to $100 at times. So that is definitely something that I would wait for a sale. I would not buy it full price because Samsung will discount it. So yeah, I would wait. All right. Robert asked, my brother and I were watching on how to put slow motion on the Galaxy Note 4. We both noticed the Galaxy Note 4 that the one setting on there for video settings is not on our settings menu or video at all. How do we find this and how do we get it put on that area? All right, so Robert, here's the thing. The phone has changed dramatically since that video went up. That video went up before any of the updates. So like the Lollipop update changed the entire interface of your video settings. Now, a couple of things. One, certain settings like that are not available on certain settings on your phone. So, for instance, if you have it on kids mode or simple mode, you cannot use slow motion video recording. So that's first of all. If you have it on either of those modes, you have to take it off before you can use it. Second of all, there are different places where those things were now put. For instance, the smooth motion video capture I showed is now not under the video resolution or anything like that. It's under something called video size, which was really originally just the resolution. But now if you go under video size, it says 1080p at 60 FPS, which is the smooth motion video recording. In terms of slow motion, it should be on there for slow motion specifically. Now, the video I showed should have been smooth motion, but I'm not sure if that's what you meant. So just in case it is, it should still be on there, but somewhere else in the settings it could have been changed to a different name. I would just suggest tapping each one to see which one pulls up fast motion and smooth and slow motion. Smooth motion, however, is now 1080p at 60 FPS in video size. So hopefully you find that okay. Other than that, some countries actually completely change or take off features. So that's another thing that in the US, those should all be on there. But if it's say like even in the US, like a Metro phone, it might not be on there, or a Cricket phone, it might not be on there. So carriers can take it off too as well. All right. Leonard asked, I bought the Note 5 2 weeks ago. I'm coming from the Note Edge. I was wondering if there is an app where you can access some apps on the Edge on the Note 5 screen. Yes. So I did a video on this where it was Edge people on the Galaxy Note 5. So I did a video like that, and those same makers have now made one for the full Edge screen. So for one, you have the ability to have the actual regular Edge people, and then you swipe across, and then you have the Edge apps. So this is the exact same feature that's on the S6 Edge and Edge Plus. So you can get this. However, it will cost you $1.35. Now, it's not that bad of a price once you think that it will be on every single phone you have after, but it's just a really nice ability to swipe over and go to Edge people, and then you have the Edge apps as well. So really nice, simple, and easy to use. It's the exact same feature that you have on the ability to have the Edge screen. So really nice overall, and highly recommend you get it if you are coming from the Note Edge and you wanted an Edge-like feature. Now there are other apps that will allow you full access to a side panel and really customizing everything like that. The two top ones I recommend for that is one called Swaps, spelled SWAPPS. That is my favorite. However, that is a two-press system where you swipe and then tap, and then that'll launch it that way. Alternatively, there's one called Glovebox that is a one-swipe system. So you swipe, go down, and when you release, it selects that app or person. So those are two other ones, Swaps and Glovebox, and I believe they both have a free version. So make sure to note that. All right. Bartek asked about a toggle switch on one of my YouTube videos, and they want to know what widget it was. So I've often gotten asked about these widgets a lot, so it bears repeating every so often. It's these widgets that I have up here at the top, and looks like I can't focus on it. Let me try backing it up like this. Nope, it's still not allowing it to focus. But basically, the two those widgets at the top are called HD widgets, and you really can customize them entirely. They're by far my top rated widget, and something that I think if you want widgets and you want to customize it from clock to calendar to weather to just regular toggles, you want HD widgets. They're by far the best widgets that you can buy. I forget what the price is. I think it's like $2 or $3 for the standard widgets. Then you can add different customizations to it for free, or even pay like another 99 cents for other widgets. I think in total I paid $5, but I've had it since Honeycomb. So we're talking about 3 years, 4 years that I've had these widgets on there. So a long time. All right, Richard asked, "What is your opinion of the Nexus P? I'd love to see a review or side-by-side comparison to the Note 5." Well, Richard, you're not the only one, because I got it based on popular demand. I do have the Nexus on hand, so we just got it in today, actually. Well, yeah, just got it in today. So we just did an unboxing. That'll be up later this week, and we will do our full comparison and review coming up in the next 2 weeks, most likely. The comparison I think we'll do right away. The Note 5 versus this one is a highly requested one, so we will do that against the Note 5. We'll also compare it to the V10 and the iPhone 6s Plus. However, I cannot say my first impressions of just the build quality. It's a little weighted, which some people like that. I am not a particular fan of the weight. I like my phones lighter because I want to put a case on it. I feel like if I put a case on this one, it will be even more so. So like, for instance, my Note 5 feels about the same weight, if not lighter, than the Nexus 6 with 6P without a case. So that's just a little feedback coming right off the bat. So yes. And the last question that was emailed to me. All right, James has asked for something that I've had questions on before. So I had a question nobody seems to have the answer for, so I figured I'd try to ask you. I was wondering if there's any app to make my S6 Edge T-Mobile think I'm using Wi-Fi. I have a brother that would like to play some games, but they are Wi-Fi only. My LTE is better than most internet connections offered in my area. I tend to be outdoors most of the time. So here's the thing, James. Unfortunately, I even researched this a little bit more before starting the show, but it doesn't seem that there is a simple way to do that. Now, for me, on the day-to-day basis, I have two phones. So when I have this problem, what I do is I simply turn on a hotspot on one of my phones, and then I use the other phone to start. Usually that's good enough to as soon as it starts the game in Wi-Fi, I can then leave the Wi-Fi and continue the game. It just wants that initial impression of it. However, that either having something like two phones, which is not easy to have, of course, or having something like a hotspot, very minimal data usage, because normally in Wi-Fi you just need to initialize it. So something like a hotspot might be something, like the lowest thing you're talking about 500 megabytes or even 1 gig for a hotspot, something like that. It's an extra charge, so you have to see if it figures into your budget. But yeah, there's no trick you can do. However, you could do it with rooting. But I was trying to look anyway other than rooting, and it does not seem that that's the case. So you could do it with rooting. I do not have videos on how to root, but if you go to XDA developers, they have step-by-step on how to root the S6 Edge for T-Mobile, and you'll be taken care of there. But hopefully that helped overall. But those are the only kind of solutions that you could really have, other than, of course, just going to like a nearby Starbucks or something like that. It's very basic for just Wi-Fi connection. I understand that it will not be as fast as your typical Wi-Fi. All right, now let's start up and see. Okay, sorry. I need to turn you off because you're getting annoying. Sorry, I'm giving note 3 to one of my friends, so just setting that all up. All right. Sorry, a lot of questions here. Too bad it doesn't work on Verizon. I don't know what I was talking about at that time. That doesn't work on Verizon. Oh, the Cat 12 maybe. That's what I'm talking about. I'm watching 2 live streams today, including yours. Thank you, Danny, for watching my live stream. I do appreciate that. Hey, can you please say when do you expect there to be significant leap in battery life on phones, as there is a lot of technology in development but none to meet the market as of yet? I would say 2 years. 2 years sounds like a good basis. Samsung is the leader in this. For those of you who don't know, Samsung basically spends about 11 to 12 billion a year on research and development, so they are spending more money than anyone else in this field. And the reason why that's significant is because companies like Google or Apple are sane, and they spend about 2 billion a year on research and development. So Samsung is a little overboard on that, but it could obviously lead to more profit down the line. At least I believe that's what their hope is. So here's the thing. I do believe that that we will see battery improvement. Samsung has already been able to double this year. They found out how to do it. So obviously it's going to take time to implement it and to get the price down. But they've already found how to double the battery size, or sorry, not double the milliamps of the battery while keeping it the same battery size. So a phone such as the S6 Edge, so that's a very thin phone, right? Instead of having a 2600 milliamp battery, they could then put a 5200 milliamp battery in that same size of a phone. However, that's again just discovered this year. So it's going to take time before a phone will actually be implemented with that. However, it won't take exaggerated amount of time. When we saw them have patents for iris scanning technology to be able to scan your retina to unlock a phone, that was about 2 years ago, and Microsoft's new devices have that now. So 2 years is I think it's a good time frame. So I would say by 2017 we will see a significant improvement in battery life versus the size of the device. Do you really know if they discontinued the Nvidia? Oh, if they discontinued the Shield tablet? Nvidia never made any announcement, and I can't find it anywhere in stock. That is really curious. And yeah. Shield tablet. Did they really not have it anymore on Nvidia? No, they have it on their store right now. Oh, I see. It is out of stock though. So Nvidia has it available on their website, but not available because it's out of stock. Yeah, I could see this. They wouldn't announce it being discontinued, so I could see this now being discontinued. It's been over a year. Possibly this might mean that Nvidia is going to launch a new tablet, or maybe they just decided to get out of it. I quite frankly love the Nvidia Shield. For those of you who don't know, is one of, I think it was my second or third top-rated tablet of last year, and it was by far a better device compared to the Nexus 9, which was pretty much garbage. So yes, I was a great fan of the Nvidia Shield tablet. I'm just curious. And yeah, just checking out a couple different places. So I just wanted to see. if it really is gone everywhere. Yeah, all signs point away from the tablet, and it really is going to the Nvidia Shield Pro and Nvidia Shield gaming console, which is a great device and one that I really enjoy and I have in my house. I play a lot of games on it. So yes, it looks like the Nvidia Shield tablet is discontinued. Now, will they make a new one? That depends if they made profit on this. They discontinued their Nvidia Shield. I think they just called it the Nvidia Shield at that time. Actually, the Nvidia Shield gamepad controller game console. It was like a portable gaming console. I think is what they try to spin it as. But yes, they discontinued that one a while back, and they did not come out with a new one. My guess it wasn't that profitable. It didn't sell as much. So if the same thing happened with their Nvidia Shield tablet, then they won't make another one. So we'll see. It's up to the sales really. Any suggestions for a tablet that supports micro SD card? Full HD resolution that's under $150 and runs Android. I want to use it to watch videos and internet mainly, no games or anything. Okay, I love a challenge, Danny. Jeez. Okay, let's see. Just gonna throw that out there, huh, Danny? Just throwing that out there, you know. I wonder actually how much. Okay. Did you say how? So, Danny, you did not specify how big the screen has to be. Danny, let me know how big the screen has to be. Is it have to be a 10-inch, or can it be an 8-inch or a 7-inch? Okay, right away I found one for you. That's $200, not 150, but it is the Asus ZenPad S8. 32-inch tablet. It's a 1080p display, and 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs on board, and it can support a micro SD card. So Asus is one of the ones that like has generally good resolution screens with having a low price. So that's the first one I found, $200. That is a model. So make sure it's a Z 580C. So that's an 8-inch. Although I don't know if that's up to your standards, Danny. So let me know again. Is it? I still haven't seen an update on it, so I'm guessing. I don't know if it's a 10-inch or 8-inch that you were interested in. Novo. Okay, I found 2 more for you, Danny. Again, this is on the spot, but I want to get one for you. So this is $180. 10-inch display. It's Android KitKat, so it's not Lollipop, which might be better actually in this case. You do have. Oh wait, does this one have expandable storage? I thought I saw it did, but it might not. Yes, well they're offering you a micro SD card with it, so I'm assuming it does. But I do not see anything that says that. I thought I did, but so this is 180, right? However, Asus does have another 10-inch one. This is an older version, but again, we're looking for display, price, and micro SD card. So this one is a device that has oh no, 720p display. It's out of the running. Dang it, Danny. Yes, this is a 720p display. Okay. Okay, for screen size, it doesn't matter. Well, then, I mean, the 180 might be the closest I can get to off the top of my head. Trying to get one right away. It's just hard for that 1080p plus that price point. I mean, I think that's a really good price point for $180, plus the fact that it will most likely go down in price on Black Friday. So I would keep out for those two and see if that is your liking. I recently saw the HTC M7 for 200. Never had an HTC before. What do you think? Yes, I know it's old. Do you think it's a good backup phone? So here's the thing, Kronos. It's a good backup phone, but you have to realize its biggest weakness, and the M7's biggest weakness was camera. That has been the biggest weakness for the M7, M8, and M9. The M7 compared to the M8 was also a lower battery life. So the battery life wasn't that great either. It dramatically improved on the M8, but the M8 forgot about the camera. So overall, the M7 would be good for overall camera, or sorry, for overall quality. Amazing speakers, obviously, but its downside would be battery and camera. So as a backup phone that gets you by, not bad. But for $200, I would honestly invest in a lot of other devices. Um, Seeing as I'm trying to think off the top of my head, what are the ones around that prices? How much is the Moto G? So the Moto G is about 200, and that might be a bit better quality, to be honest. And that's the third generation. Do we have a 16 gig version of it? So that's for 219. I believe it's so for 220. That would give you a bit better performance, I feel like, and honestly, probably a bit better camera overall compared to even the M7. So that's 220. What are some other phones? You get a One Plus One now. So you can get a One Plus One used for about 250. That would be sorry, a One Plus One for about 250. That would be better as well. Again, better camera comparing to it. There's some other phones around that price point. Can't think of all the inexpensive phones came out. Oh, the Asus. Asus Zen. Yes, absolutely get this. The Asus Zenfone 2. The 16 gigabyte model is 199, and it would be a much better device than that one. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. You can even around the 250 price point get the 32 gigs, which have 4 gigs of RAM, which again would be a much better one. So yeah, I would recommend the Asus Zenfone 2 would probably be my top recommendation for around a $200 smartphone. That would be way superior to the M7. Again, it doesn't have the sound quality, but it would have everything. Well, actually, no, the Zenfone 2 has front-facing speakers, so yeah, it would have pretty good sound quality as well. Have you tried Android Auto or Apple CarPlay? I really only tried it on the sales floor, or not sales floor, on the CES floor last year when Pioneer was coming out with it. Now they were very overpriced at that point, so I'm very interested to see what the price point is for it this year. It's a year later. Has price come down? You know, at the time, I think the cheapest one was something like $700 for a Android Auto kit from Pioneer, and that was with the low-grade touchscreen for the good quality touchscreen that will be very responsive. That was like around $1,200, so a lot more expensive and just not worth the price right now. Overall, I do love the style of it. It just wouldn't work for me at this particular time. So here's the thing. I watch YouTube, or not watch, but more listen to YouTube podcasts, and I glance at them when I'm at the stop sign. But basically, that's what I do in my daily routine of driving because I drive a lot every day. So because of that, that's why it wouldn't work for me because what I do is split screen. I have YouTube on one side and Maps on the other. And although I could do Maps and music on Android Auto, I cannot do what I currently do. So therefore, I would not invest in it at this time. Could I see myself investing in it later? Yes, but I would more likely see myself investing in something like a tablet that has that. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, say if I would have something like, a Galaxy Tab S2 8-inch that has a high resolution screen and it would allow me to do split screen and do what I'm currently doing, and I could have that mounted in my car. Now, of course, that would have me using a connected device, which they do not make for that tablet, but I thought about doing that. Overall, that is what I've thought about doing in the past. But right now, Android Auto, I'm waiting for 2.0 to see what it really can offer besides, disabling your phone and not allowing you to really do as much. I love the concept, but I think it has a little bit way to go before I replace my car system with that. So yes, but that's why though. That's why I'm not doing that. Sometimes when I try to turn on my Note 5, the screen freezes and it doesn't turn on. I have to push the power button, wait right on the internet, wipe the cache, memory, any suggestions. So your Note 5, the screen freezes and it doesn't turn on. Like it won't turn on. And then okay, so your screen freezes and you have to press the power button just to basically change it and wake it up. Um, hmm. I've not heard of this issue around my area. Is it a what carrier is it? If it's a US version, if it's not a US version, have you updated it as it's come out? For instance, on T-Mobile, the Note 5 has had about 4 updates since it came out. No, five updates since it came out. So that's a lot of updates. They corrected a lot of issues that they found out later. Now you can't update to one without updating the one before. So like when I got my my brother's phone, I updated one, then I had to update another. So it was one update after the other. So yes, it could be a little bit annoying to update that many times, but you do want to update it in order to make it work. Now, if that doesn't fix it, so you're saying on the internet it told you to wipe the cache memory. Um, I wouldn't see why that would be the biggest thing. What I would recommend is actually turning it on in safe mode and see if that happens. Now, I don't know if this happens like on a daily basis with you or if it happens like every 5 minutes. Putting it on safe mode would allow you to see if it's an app that you downloaded that's making your phone freeze. How do you put it on safe mode? I'm trying to remember that. Safe mode. Galaxy Note 5. What is the button combination? There's always different button combinations. Sorry, I find it annoying, but okay, so this is what you do. To put the Note 5 in safe mode and find out if it's an app you downloaded that's causing the crashing, you're going to turn on the Note 5. As soon as the Samsung Note 5 shows up, you're going to let go of the power button. So you're going to hold down the power button until that comes up. As soon as that comes up, you're going to release the power button and immediately press the volume down button. And you're going to hold down the volume down button until the phone's it will restart, and then it's going to you're going to keep holding it down, and then basically what's going to happen is it's going to start in safe mode. So basically this will allow you to see if it doesn't crash at all, then that's because your phone was affected by a third-party app. So that's what you would do. Want to turn it off from safe mode? Well, you're just going to pull down the screen. At the top, it will say in safe mode. Once you tap it, it will turn safe mode off, and it will reset your phone with your third-party apps back. And then you're going to have to start deleting apps and finding out which one is causing the issue. But yes, hopefully that helps. Oh, it's an Asian version. So here's the thing. If you cannot get the update on it, this is what you have to do. You have to go to sammobile.com and find out. Oh, before you do that, you have to download an app called Phone Info. This will tell you exactly the model number and the latest firmware that is available for your phone. If your phone is not the latest firmware, then you need to update to the latest firmware. Sam Mobile, you sign up for there. It's a free sign up, and then you download the entire firmware for your phone, the latest one that should get rid of all the bugs. For that to happen, you're just going to download it. Once it's downloaded onto your computer, you follow the steps. Use Odin, which is a program that allows you to install the latest firmware update, and that'll be it. Just go to the website, find your firmware, and that's it. To find your firmware, you need to download the Phone Info app. All right, Kronos, does the S7 work with older USB cords? I don't have an S7. I wish I did. If I had an S7, I'd be making lots of money right now. No, I do not have an S7, but if it is a Type-C cable, as we expect it to be, then no, it will not work with older USB cords. Type-C is not backwards compatible. It is only current compatible in a sense. So yes, it will not have backwards compatibility with older USB cables if it does turn out to be Type-C. All right, guys, that was normal episode, not longer than usual. We got a lot of playbacks, over 300 playbacks, so thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate that. Yeah, guys, this week we have a lot of things coming out. What do we got? We got the next 6P videos coming up, so that is going to come up as well. If you haven't checked out my movie review channel, please check that out as well. I just posted 2 of my latest movie reviews. Do you guys believe I've never seen a James Bond or Peanuts TV show or movie? None of them. Never saw it. First time this week. Check out my reviews on that to see how it was. Do you think the iPhone 5 will change from Lightning to USB-C? No. I do not see the iPhone 5 changing its charging anytime soon. I don't see why they would, to be honest, because they like to be proprietary. Yes, they're backing Type-C on their on their laptops now, but it will not back it up on their phone. I just don't see them doing that. For their bigger items, it's one thing, but otherwise they want proprietary stuff. So no, I don't think they'll change that. Yeah, guys, hopefully you liked all the news this week and all the answers. Again, we didn't have much news, so I wanted to answer more viewer questions this time around. Thank you guys always for watching. I'm not really sure what else. We have the Nexus P videos coming out. We have the V10 versus the iPhone 6 Plus coming out. We have the Gear S2 connected device. It is thicker than the regular Gear S2, so we're going to have comparisons to show the difference of thickness in it. But yeah, that's all the stuff we have coming up, and hopefully you guys like it. Alright, guys, hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, please give a like, thumbs up down below. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.